Teddy.
With the instructions.
Some intimidating stare downs in the past. This will be no different. Does he look like Sonny Liston to you?
Thomas, you receive your instructions.
What matters is does he look like him to the other guy?
Protect yourself at all times.
That's who he's trying to intimidate, not me.
Obey my commands at all times. First command is right now. Touch gloves. And the bell rings box.
Either that or he's got a toothache.
He looks mean enough. We'll see what happens when the bell rings.
Sonny Liston did some of the great ones that you just mentioned as far as stare downs, trying to intimidate somebody before a fight. Roberto Duran was pretty damn good too.
5 fights between these two as amateurs.
Russell, you ready?
Falowo
ready?
won the last one, but lost the previous 4 to Russell Lamour. So here we go. Peter Manfredo Sr., the trainer for Falowo, told me, quote, "This could be the fight of the year." That's asking a lot. Let's just see if we can get a solid, good round 1 here.
Falowo lost, as you said, 4 of the 5 times they fought in amateurs, but you know, for me, the pro style suits Falowo a little better. He's a little bit more aggressive. And you know, in the amateurs, you only have 3 rounds. You got a guy like Lamour who likes to box a little bit. He can get away with that 3 rounds. You would figure maybe a little bit of a better chance now that you got more rounds for Falowo because he's more of a pressure fighter. And you know what? You need rounds. You need time for pressure to work. And you don't get that time in the amateurs. Falowo's going to get that time tonight. Let's see if that time serves him well.
We'll certainly have time later tonight to discuss what happened between Rios and Alvarado in the final fight of their trilogy. And Mayweather-Pacquiao, is it going to happen? We may be as close as ever. They were face-to-face recently at Miami. We'll have the very latest on that possible showdown sometime this year. That's coming up on Friday Night Fights.
Both guys tall here, but again, it's your decision how you use those physical assets that your parents and God give you. Falowo decides not to really be tall. He doesn't care about that. He engages. Lamour, well, he'll use that height as he's trying right now on the outside. Right now, it's serving him pretty well to pick spots on the outside and then just grab the taller Falowo when he gets in close.
Both men realize what's on the line here tonight on ESPN. Falowo telling us, "I just can't win tonight. I'm on ESPN. This is worldwide. I have to look good. I want to knock out. I want fans to clamor to see me again." Certainly an active round 1 as both men not shy throwing punches.
Don't grab his head like that.
It's interesting that the referee microphone here, Teddy, you can hear it throughout the arena on the loudspeakers.
And again, Lamour taking what's given him. What's being given to him is a tall guy giving up his height, so he chops a little bit, takes a little bit, and then he gets outside where he's tall again and makes that Falowo give up his height. When it doesn't get to where he likes it, when it gets inside, what does Lamour do? He just ties up a little bit.
Watch the holding, guys.
So an entertaining round 1 to kick off Friday Night Fights here at the fabulous Fox Theater at the Foxwoods Casino. Teddy Atlas and Todd Grisham here ringside. A very interesting main event still to come tonight. How excited are you, Teddy?
You have no idea how interesting, how excited I am. First of all, my first question is, are these inflated enough? What do you think?
Well, they don't have to be either way. I've got a weak chin. Glass Joe over here.
Okay,
yeah.
Don't get nervous.
I'm always nervous sitting next to you.
Listen, I think, first of all...
Let me help you. I know you can't adjust it with the gloves.
Yeah, I knocked myself out instead of you. I think that these are 10-ounce gloves, or actually 8-ounce gloves. This is what's used in the main event. And that's the regulation. That's the inflation allowed in this sport. I think that Lewis is going to wish that maybe a little more inflation was used, because he's going to be the guy coming forward. He's going to be the guy feeling the gloves, getting hit, because he's in there with a counterpuncher, with an undefeated dog, and who, for the most part, doesn't take a lot of chances. He's a sharpshooter. He's going to be on the outside. He's going to be looking to take advantage again of the reckless aggression of Lewis. At the end of the day, should be an entertaining fight. I'm going with Seattle. The better defense. I mean Lewis. The better defense.
You're going with Canada. The Canadian.
No, I'm actually going
with Dargan.
With Dargan, the better defense. Who I think in the end of the day, defense wins football games. I think it usually wins fights.
Round 2 of a scheduled 8 here. Falowo in the white and green trunks. And the Haitian sensation, Russell Lamour, in the white and red trunks. Lamour, his last fight, beat Ashandi Gibbs in front of 3,000 friendly fans in Portland, Maine, his hometown. He's full of confidence. Falowo moved up to, oh, look at these go back and forth here. Falowo coming off a loss in his last fight as he moved up to super middleweight to fight Robert Greville. Back down to 160 pounds now for this contest, as old foes and the amateurs meet for the first time as professionals. Nice uppercut from Falowo. Teddy, when both fighters are tall, we've got Falowo at 6'1", Lamour at 6'2". Is it even more important to establish the jab?
I mean, whoever establishes the jab, look, there's only one guy that really, up until now, was fighting tall, who has been fighting tall. And that was the man who's not fighting tall right now, Lamour. You know what I mean? Now he's allowing the man who likes to get inside, Falowo, to get inside and do what he wants. I mean, it really doesn't matter. You know, we always talk about tall using the jab.
Okay, break, let him out.
You should use a jab. It's an elementary punch. It's an important punch. You should use a jab no matter whether you're tall or you're short. Mike Tyson won most of his fights. He was always a shorter man because he used the jab.
Keep him up.
And he found a way to out-jab guys by moving his head and using it. So tall or not, the jab is very important. But right now, neither one of these guys are thinking about being tall or thinking about using the jab. They're just engaging. Because I think one of the reasons why they're engaging so much and throwing out their physical assets right out the window, Todd, is because they're so familiar with each other. You know, familiarity breeds contempt. And both these guys have a little contempt for each other right now. Hey, Seattle, defense, and look, I'm always a big proponent of the mental game, right?
Right.
In this business, 75% of it's mental. I think that with all this Inflategate, I mean, you even have me talking about, fooling around about it at the opening, I think that mentally that distracts the New England Patriots, and it takes them into a mindset that really you shouldn't be in before such an important moment. Or you could say,
they rally around each other. It's us against the world, Teddy.
But you know what? When you're being accused of cheating, I think sometimes you start to feel, especially if it's true, only they know if it's true, you don't feel legitimate. You lose some of that legitimacy personally, inside yourself, in the core of you. And that's where it matters. It doesn't matter what we and all the media around the world think. It matters what they think. And if they think they're cheaters before a big game, guess what? It's hard to behave like a champion.
A very active fight now between Thomas Falowo and Russell Lamour. Both men throwing punches non-stop, going to the body, going to the head. Peter Manfredo Sr. said this would be fight of the year. I'm not sure about that, but it has been a pretty darn good fight so far. We're in round 3 of a scheduled 8 in the middleweight division. Our CompuBox total punches so far. Both men have thrown over 170 punches. Falowo landed 63 times. His opponent, 43.
Who the heck has to be tall when you can be short? Even when you are 6'3" and 6'1". You just walk in, you throw punches. And right now, for the most part, every once in a while, Lamour will show you that he likes it on the outside a little bit more. But you know what? Sometimes you get caught up in one kind of fight. It's hard to make that transition and get out of it. And right now, I think it's hard for Lamour, who likes to be on the outside, to really get his way and get his footing on the outside. For the most part, Falowo is getting to the geography he wants to be on the inside.
We encourage you to log on to our Friday Night Fights Facebook page and score along at home as these two men exchange punches. Falowo coming off the ropes.
Yeah, again, both guys tall, but if Falowo is allowed to be inside, he's going to have a good chance to win this fight. Because he's comfortable there, Todd.
Thomas.
You know, he feels that he's better there. And also he feels, I think, that, as I said at the beginning, that after losing 4 out of the 5 fights to Lamour in the amateurs, he just feels he didn't have the right setting. He didn't have enough rounds where he could get to him, and now he does.
Nice straight jab by Lamour, catches Falowo on the chin. And now both men wrestle to the ropes again, round 3. Coming to welcome back to what has been a high-energy opening bout between Thomas the Soldier Falowo and the Haitian sensation Russell Lamour. Can they keep this pace up for 8 rounds, Teddy?
Yes, they can. Not only, I mean, it's not just, first of all, if they're in shape. You look at the two guys, we don't see anything that doesn't suggest they're in good shape. And if you look at the weight of Falowo, I would say definitely he can keep it up. He's the lightest weight in 3.5 years. So that tells you he did all the work in the gym to be able to do what he needs to do tonight in the ring. At least it suggests that.
Despite losing the majority of their amateur fights, Falowo said, listen, Lamour just pity-patted his way around. The judges didn't appreciate what I did. They'll see tonight as professionals what I can do when we really go 8 full rounds and I can slug it out. But there's the best punch of the fight, and it's a left hook from Russell Lamour.
Even though both guys have engaged each other, I think it's clear that Lamour has just more options. You know, he can get it done on the outside, and he also can stay inside with Falowo. For the most part, Falowo's only shown you an ability to get it done inside. That gives an advantage for Lamour. More options is always good. More diversity, usually good.
Oh, and a right hand connects from Falowo, and now Lamour backing up. So both men have landed their best punches of the fight here in round 4.
And again, anytime you're saying the best punches, the guy in the green, Falowo, you're probably saying it when he's close. Lamour, you could be saying it in close, like that, or outside.
The crowd really buzzing here. Both men within driving distance of their fans.
You know, you touched on it earlier. You see the confidence of Falowo. And that confidence, again, I think that it's really fed by the fact that he lost to this man in amateurs, but he felt that if he had more time, he would have been able to win those fights. And I think he's got the confidence now that he knows that he's got those rounds that really fit him.
You can see Falowo against the ropes there, sort of take a deep breath, chomp down on his mouthpiece, and start charging back at Lamour again.
Let go of each other. Come on. Let go of his head, Russell. Come on.
Another good round between these two middleweights.
Boy here with the left hook. Not real clean, but gets his attention. But here's a cleaner right hand there by Falowo. And the reason why he was able to land it was, well, he just beat Lamour to the mark. Lamour throwing a wide punch, Falowo beat him to it.
Don't fall in. Bend them late.
It's been a very tough fight to score. Both men could have arguments pretty much in each round that they won the round. I'll be interested to see your scorecard here in a minute, Teddy, as well as those watching at home scoring on our Friday Night Fights Facebook page. Round 5 of a scheduled 8. Lamour said he'd been working on his aggressiveness, but trying to be more effective, not just charging in. Here's Teddy's scorecard, dead even, 2 rounds apiece, 38-38. And that's where we stand right now as we enter round number 5.
Let go of each other.
Peter Manfredo Sr., Fallowell's trainer, told us that, listen, this is the nicest kid I've ever trained. Said he doesn't even cuss, Teddy. He's never been in trouble, but when he gets in the ring, he flips a switch and becomes a mean machine.
Well, he's got a good mentor, Falowo does, and Peter Manfredo Sr.
An uppercut from Falowo sneaks in there.
Of course, Peter Manfredo Sr. has worked with a lot of good fighters. One of them, his son, Peter Manfredo Jr.
We've seen him in this very ring before at the Fox Theater. In fact, one of my favorite fights ever took place here. James Toney and Vasily Zhirov.
And again, you see the tendencies, you see the personality, really. I always say that in that ring, you can really see what's in somebody's soul. You know, what kind of person they are. Are they aggressive? Are they passive? Are they a thinker? You know, are they a guy who's impulsive? And for the most part, you see that Lamour, a little bit more of a thinker.
Watch it.
You know, he's on the outside. You can see he's thinking about setting up traps a little bit, trying to get a little range. And Falowo, he's a guy that's, well, he's the doer. You know, he just figures, let me come forward.
Come on, let go of each other. Let go of them.
And let me engage. Let me get close to this man. And there again, you see Lamour on the outside trying to set up a little bit of gap, turning southpaw, and then turning back to orthodox. I think he's switching a little too much. While he's switching back and forth with his legs, Lamour, from lefty to righty, he's allowed Falowo to close the gap a little bit.
Guys, full stop. Thank you.
Both men have been down in their careers before. Lamour knocked down twice. Falowo knocked down twice.
Both fighters have been knocked out one time.
Finally, you can see some fatigue here. Both men have been extremely active. A right hand sneaks in there from Falowo. And there we go. 3 rounds left to go in this middleweight opening bout here on Friday Night Fights. Next week, we head down to Biloxi, Mississippi. Sergio Mora, the Latin Snake, feels like a middleweight title opportunity is just around the corner. He'll be facing off against Abi Hahn, who's 23-1 with 14 knockouts, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Now, Jermaine Taylor, the IBF middleweight champion, was supposed to be fighting Sergio Mora, but as you probably know, he's had some serious problems outside the ring. It began in August 26th of last year when he allegedly shot his cousin. Then on October 8th, he won the middleweight title. Since then, more trouble with the law. He currently has been moved to a state hospital for a neurological evaluation. So the trials and tribulations of Jermaine Taylor continue in Arkansas. We'll keep you updated on his progress.
Seconds out.
You know, I'm going to add one in there that I think has to be added in there. If you're going to look at it, you know, really in a true way that it needs to be looked at. We looked at all the criminal involvement and activity of Jermaine, which is sad to see when you see it in anybody behaving that way. But what we're not looking at is something that happened in the ring when he fought Arthur Abraham. He got a brain bleed. The most serious injury that you can get in boxing. You compromise your brain. Your brain bleeds. And look, to his credit, he came back from it. He won a title. The doctors cleared him to fight again.
The Mayo Clinic cleared him.
But I have my doubts. Once your brain bleeds, whether or not you're ever the same, and whether or not you should ever get in that ring again. I don't know that it's connected to this behavior now, but there's got to be some answer to this kind of behavior.
I think most people would agree the last place Jermaine Taylor needs to be right now is in a boxing ring.
Let go of him, Russell.
Agreed.
Both Falowo and Lamour said they wanted a knockout here tonight. Not much time left to get it, but it's not from a lack of trying, as both men have been throwing non-stop since round 1.
You know, this round, it looks like Lamour, the man who had more choices. He could go on the outside, do a little more boxing. It seems to me like he's given up that choice. He knows that he's down the stretch now. And it looks to me like he's just going to commit to the inside. And that's what he's doing this round.
Lamour has only been 8 rounds twice in his career. Let's see if fatigue plays a factor here. And a shot right on the belt line from Lamour as Falowo crumples over momentarily. He hit him right on that power button on the top of his trunks.
See, now watch on the inside. It's an inside fight now, and it might be down the stretch now. Who makes the choice, the better choice, to fight on the inside, to find the way to move those hands, and who doesn't? And maybe who makes a solid agreement to tie up?
And after a little breather, Falowo now trying to come back and land some shots of his own. It's been mostly Lamour in this round 6.
Yeah, both guys making the right choices, looking to find ways to work. And that's why it's such a competitive round. And again, I'm going to say it again. Lamour made a decision this round not to play around with the outside stuff.
And they're both going to go swing in the last 20 seconds of this round. Here we go. Now Lamour's back's against the ropes. Falowo the aggressor. And an uppercut. A good one, too. And then an overhand right. In our co-main event, a great fight between Thomas Falowo in the red and the rather green and white trunks, and Russell Lamour in the white and red. And the message from Falowo's corner was, you've got to be the aggressor again. Lamour won that round because you laid back. Go out and get it.
You know, sometimes activity can be a big, big advantage, especially in a tight fight, a close fight. Lamour has been more active lately in his career. 5 fights for Lamour in 2014, Todd. Falowo had 3. 5 for Lamour in 2013. Falowo, again, had 3.
Lamour, 32 years old. Falowo, 26 years old. So Lamour certainly feeling more pressure to get things done now in his career. Not much time left for him.
And the youth, and that's a good point. 6 years of youth favors Falowo. He's going to need it now.
For all we know, it could be dead even here with 2 rounds to go. It's been that close of a fight.
And 3 of the 4 losses for Lamour were in fights outside of the United States. Well, tonight, he doesn't have to worry about that. He's got to feel a little bit more confident about that.
You can sense that there's more urgency out of Falowo. That's what his corner asked for, and that's what he's given him.
Now, after committing to the inside last round, Lamour has decided, the man in red, white, and black, has decided to take it outside a little bit. Now he decided to take it on the ropes and try to pick spots and counter off the ropes.
If you're just joining us, Falowo and Lamour fought as amateurs 5 times. And it was Lamour who won 4 of those 5, but Falowo won the last contest. So they know each other very well, which shows in just how close this contest has been. They exchange jabs.
The only way they're using the jab now, they're not using it now to keep separation and to set up anything on the outside. Both of them, the only time they use the jab is to come forward. In other words, to block the vision of the opponent to get in close. That's the only time they're using their jab. And then they're doing this, just getting in inside and going at it. And again, watch down the stretch here. Who does more on the inside? Who rotates their shoulders? Who finds a way to get just enough separation to work? And who maybe sometimes looks to tie up?
A right hand lands there, or rather a left hand from Falowo. Lamour says bring it on. 10 seconds to go here in round 7.
Yeah, who needs to be tall when you got two guys that fight inside? There's the right uppercut by Falowo, and then a left hook, and he didn't turn it over. See, he could have got more effective. He would have turned that left hook. Good right uppercut, and the right idea. Left hook on top. Pick his head up with the uppercut. Left hook on top, but slap with the left hook. Did not turn it over, and that's why Lamour maybe didn't get hurt more.
Round 8 of 8 in what has been a fantastic fight. Here's how close it has been. Both men throwing over 540 punches. Falowo with a higher percent connect. I think both men realize it could all come down to who wins this 8th and final round.
And that comes down to who you are, right, Todd? A little bit. And Lamour showed early on, again, his temperament, who he is. He tried to box. And Falowo, he knows exactly who he is. He's coming forward. Maybe that's the difference in this fight, knowing who you are. You know, sometimes Lamour wanted to be that guy on the outside. Sometimes he wanted to be the guy on the inside. For the most part, all night long, Falowo knew exactly who he wanted to be. That guy, right inside.
Here's Teddy's scorecard, 67-66, the slightest of edges for Falowo.
See that left hook a moment ago? That time it was by Lamour. Didn't turn it over, he slapped. Little thing, but big thing. Instead of landing a good solid punch, he just cuffs him. Didn't turn it over with the meaty part of the glove.
Let go.
All right, watch, who's working on inside? Watch, that's what it's going to come down to. Now, who rotates their shoulders, who creates enough room and a rhythm to work inside.
They have to be feeling like they're holding 50-pound dumbbells right now with all the punches they've been throwing. But Falowo now trying to throw even more as his opponent Lamour holds on.
And again, position, important to keep position in a lot of sports. Who keeps his position on the inside? For the most part, Falowo's kept his position on the inside. Every once in a while, Lamour pulls out. And when he pulls out, he gets caught. See, right now, keeping his position.
Falowo about to just tip over from exhaustion. 45 seconds to go. Oh, and a low blow there from Lamour, but they both keep throwing punches. They don't care at this point.
And again, the guy keeping better position in the last 30 seconds was Lamour on the inside, keeping his position and catching Falowo going out a little bit. Watch, who has the better position here? Right now, you got to give the advantage to Lamour because he's got Falowo on the ropes.
10 seconds now to let it all hang out. What a fight! Who do you got? Do you have the soldier, Thomas Falowo, or the Haitian sensation, Russell Lamour? We're about to find out. What a way to kick off Friday Night Fights. Friday Night Fights here at the Fox Theater, the Foxwoods Resort and Casino. A fantastic opening bout between Thomas Falowo and Russell Lamour. Teddy's scorecard, 76-76, all even. That feels just about right, Teddy. Final thoughts on what we saw.
Good fight. You know, you don't have to be short and stature to make good fights. You can be tall if you have the heart and the desire to go inside. You make a good fight. They made a good fight.
Let's see what the judges had to say. We send it up to our ring announcer, Phil Tufano.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 exciting rounds, we go to the scorecards. Judge at ringside, Glenn Feldman, scored the bout 78-74. Judge Dick Flaherty scored it 77-75. And Judge Robert Paolino saw the bout 77-75. All for your winner by unanimous decision. And New England Stakes middleweight champion, Thomas Soldier Falowo.
It could have gone either way, but Falowo gets the victory, and I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but his opponent, Russell Lamour, clapped his hands together as if to say maybe that was the right decision. A great battle here in the 160-pound middleweight division. Still to come tonight,